most important questions you're ever going to be asked in any interview you do for the rest of your life is, why do you want to work here? And that's no different at FedEx. Why do you want to work at FedEx? Often this question is used as a tiebreaker between equally viable candidates. So having a great answer to this question, well, it might be the most important question you're going to have to answer. In today's video, I'm going to give you 3 different compelling ways to answer this question so you can stand out and have a better chance of getting a job offer with FedEx. Now, this is video 3 of a 4-part series. So if this is the first video you are seeing of the series, make sure you go to the playlist and watch the other videos. And at the very end of this video, I will actually tee up the next one right here so you can seamlessly go to this video to the final video in the series. All right, with that being said, let's get started. Now, this question is incredibly important. I said this in the very beginning, but companies will often use this as a tiebreaker. If you have equally qualified candidates, right, and they have the qualifications, they're similar that way, they have similar backgrounds, education, whatever it is, if it's an equal playing field, passion matters. Hiring managers will often go with a candidate they feel is more passionate about the role, more passionate about the organization, and they just feel like they want to be there. So this is one of the key questions that can kind of illustrate that you are in fact interested in the role. Now, whenever you are answering this question, you want to use the 50-50 rule. Now, the 50-50 rule states that the first 50% of your answer, well, that needs to be about the organization. Why is the organization compelling to you? What is attracting you to the organization specifically? And the second 50%, well, that needs to be about the role. Why is a role a good fit for you right now in your career with your experience? All right, let's get into some of the specific examples. Now, the first answer is the conservation answer. Basically, FedEx does a ton of work for conservation. They have a proof of planting project in which they have people in their organization plant trees all around the world. It's really cool. They also have pledged to be carbon neutral by 2040. And what you're basically going to do is say that your interest in the organization, in part, is because of what they are doing as a massive organization to, to kind of contribute to conservation. So the answer, it might sound something like this. All right, Ben, why are you interested in working at FedEx? Well, that's a great question. And I would say there's a lot of things that are appealing to me about working with FedEx, but one of the things that I found really interesting while I was doing my research on this organization prior to this interview was the work FedEx is doing in conservation. I think that's incredibly important, and I think as a large organization, you kind of have a big responsibility to contribute to that. And I love what FedEx is doing, specifically your proof of planting project going to, carbon neutral by 2040. I find those to be incredibly noble pursuits. And I was really motivated by that to come and do this interview. Additionally, I feel like I'd be a really good fit because of my background. I have experience doing, and then you would go on to tell them why you're a good fit for the role and where your prior experience makes you a strong alignment fit for the opportunity. That's a great way to answer this question. Now, you want to make sure you listen to all 3 of these answers because you want to choose the one that specifically resonates most with you, because then it's going to feel more authentic. Let's go to the next one. Now, the next one is the World's Most Ethical Company Award. So as you can see, they won the award in 2023, 2024. That's great. It means they were chosen by an independent organization to follow ethical standards. That's a big deal. There are a lot of companies around the world that cannot boast that they are on that list. So it is a great thing to call out as to why you're interested in the opportunity. So the answer might sound something like this. Hey, Ben, why are you interested in working at FedEx? Well, that's a great question. I would say there are a lot of things that are really compelling about FedEx, but one of the things that really spoke to me when I was doing my research for this interview was FedEx winning World's Most Ethical Company Award. I think that says a ton about an organization to be mentioned on that list, and winning that award, well, that's the type of company that I want to align myself to. Additionally, I feel like FedEx would be a great spot for me, and this role specifically, because I have good experience in my past doing blank. And then you would go on to tell them why you would be a good fit based on your experience aligning with what you would need to do and accomplish in this role. And if you can answer it like that, you will do great. Next example. Now, this is called the 50 by 50 example. So FedEx had this huge initiative where they wanted to help 50 million people by their 50th birthday, which happened last year in April of 2023. But it is a huge undertaking. They really wanted to impact a ton of people worldwide, globally, and it is a great reason to say you are interested in the company. So you would basically just say that that initiative and everything that went into it, and the fact that a company would want to do that, that's part of what is compelling you to want to pursue this organization. Now, an answer might sound something like this. Ben, why would you want to join FedEx? Well, that's a great question, and there are a lot of things about FedEx that I consider to be really intriguing. But one of the things that really stood out to me when I was doing my research on this organization is I stumbled across your page for your 50 by 50. FedEx wanting to help 50 million people by its 50th birthday. And I went and I read through some of the stories and some of the things that were done as part of this initiative, and I really found myself being motivated to pursue this organization. And I found myself wanting to be a part of an organization that does things like that. I found it to be really inspiring and just a great way to give back, which is really important to me. Additionally, I feel like it'd be a great fit because in the role that I'm applying for, I actually have a lot of experience doing, and then you go in to tell them why you are a good fit for the organization. Now, if you can do that, you are going to stand out as a really great candidate. Another way to stand out as a really great candidate, though, is having good questions to ask the hiring manager at the end of your interview. But there's a big difference between bad questions and good questions. That's why I made this video here. This video here, well, it is great questions to ask at the end of your FedEx interview that's going to help you stand out as a great candidate. So I'm done here, but I will see you over there.